Ever since Joker was revealed for Smash Ultimate, I've been screaming from every mountaintop to anybody who'd listen that Persona 5 Royal is going to come to the Nintendo Switch, along with 4 and probably 3, because to me and many other people, this seemed obvious as hell. Despite all the obvious signs of the games were coming to the Switch that I pointed out over and over again, along with the fact there was literally no signs whatsoever indicating that they wouldn't come, I've been bombarded by quite a few dinguses over the years anytime there was a Nintendo Direct or Persona event that simply didn't confirm them yet. So now that Atlus finally announced that Personas 3, 4, and 5 Royal are coming to the Switch, I'm gonna go back and look at all those negative comments I've gotten over the years on all my update videos and ride their asses just because I'm a spiteful full-grown man. So ladies and gentlemen, please allow me to proudly introduce to you the pettiest YouTube video of all time.
Cameron, all the word. Cameron, danger. Oh no, it never fails. He'll take the cruise and find the where's and why's and who's. Cameron, all the word. Cameron, danger. Cameron.
Alright, so before I begin, I'm not going to be rude to people just for being skeptical over this topic, because I can totally understand that, but I am going to roast the people who were kind of a dick about it. Alright, so the first comment says, good thing I still have my PS3, and then they did the gimmick where you have to click read more just to see the end of the sentence, which reads, so I could play Persona 5. Okay, to be fair, there is a chance this wasn't really meant to diss me, but I'm still going to heckle him anyway, just because I think hiding your punchline behind the read more gimmick's the most uninspired and lazy heckle imaginable. Reminds me when you see your friend's dad in public and they just say, oh, I guess they just let anybody in here. I've actually always made a conscious effort to never respond to these comments no matter what, just because of how cringy I think they are, and if you got somebody like me calling you cringy, then you've got to make some serious changes in your life. I'm sure saying this is going to lead to plenty of read more comments in this video just to try to ruffle my feathers, which is understandable, and, you know, hiding spoilers behind the read more makes sense too, but otherwise, let's try being a little more original. Says the guy who made like 15 videos about Persona games coming to the Switch, but each of them had updates with new information, damn it. The next comment said quite a bit, like how Persona's always been on Sony and would never go to another platform unless there was a major shift, which isn't happening. Forgetting the fact that, for the first time in history, it actually makes sense to put Persona games on another console. I mean, seriously, do you really think the first 4 games that have made sense on the 64, GameCube, or Xbox on the PS1 and 2 outsold those consoles like 10-1? Not to mention the fact that PlayStation was pretty much a sanctuary for JRPGs back then. With the Switch being Nintendo's first console in a long time to attract gamers who weren't just soccer moms, it makes all the sense in the world to bring Persona over now. But nope, apparently there's no reason to believe that Persona 5 Royal will come to the Switch over the Vita. Yeah, no reason at all. I still love you. Same person also said that it's unwise to rely on one console for all your gaming needs, and like, yeah, it is nice to own everything, but how does this person not comprehend that not everyone can afford every console, and even if they could, not everybody wants to? My opinion, it's totally okay to only own one console, whether you can't afford more or you just don't feel like buying any other ones, and there's actually a lot of people who fall into this category. But apparently there's absolutely nothing stopping anyone from saving a little money and buying a used PS4. Yeah, third-party publishers know damn well this isn't true, which is why pretty much everything went multiplat outside of franchises that Nintendo, Sony, and Microsoft directly own. Even Microsoft lets their games pop up on other consoles every now and then. So no, your incoherent rambling did not answer the question of, does Atlus hate money? Am right, Reddit? Please upvote me. You were wrong, bud. Apparently Atlus does like making money, which is why they made Persona multiplat. Because for literally the first time ever, you know, that major shift in gaming you were talking about, JRPGs can thrive on more than just PlayStation consoles. So you're saying there's a chance? In 2050? Yes! Fantasy already beat me to the punch on the simple yet effective reply of, how about 2022? But oh well, at least this guy didn't try getting clever with that read more gimmick. Loki here says the Switch owners are so entitled, but honestly, I think he's being pretty reasonable overall. Although, I don't think it's entitled for fans to ask for something, especially when Atlus specifically sends surveys out asking people if they'd like to see Persona games on the Switch. Not to mention the fact that they even told people not to give up hope. Why would you do that if you're not bringing the game to the console? The game came out 3 years ago. If you really want to play it, it's $20. I mean, he does make a good point. That's really not that bad. And you can snag a PS4 for like $250 with 3 games considering you don't have one. Oh, so it's $20 plus $250, you're saying? Yeah, Atlus should totally expect everyone to do that, even though millions of people didn't. And by the way, I do in fact have a PS4 and Personas 3, 4, and 5.
Why do you think I love them?
Deal with it, and if you really want to play the game, you already have options. You know, I do want other people to enjoy it too. Nah, I could say for sure that it won't happen. Atlus likes Sony money, so it remains PS exclusives. I'm pretty sure Sony never paid Atlus to put Persona games on PlayStation, and I should probably look it up real quick before I record this, but I'm not. But even if they did, how much do you think it could have possibly been? Not more money than the games will make going multiplat if the Steam sales for Persona 4 Golden are any indication. The only reason Persona was exclusive for all these years is because it never really made sense to put them on anything other than Sony until the Switch came out, and by that point, Persona 5 was already released, and I'm quite confident that Royal was already in the works the second Persona 5 started development anyway. Cam, you gotta stop betting your cheeks, but man, if Persona 5 ever does come to the Switch, you'll get so much ass. If you're right, where do I collect my prize? Asking for a friend. Expecting it while you have exclusivity to the primary franchise, Shin Megami Tensei, is like PlayStation fans expecting Pokemon. No, it's not. Nintendo owns Pokemon. Kind of. It's complicated. Besides, Atlus is owned by Sega, and they're buddy-buddy with Nintendo. Not to mention the fact that there's plenty of Persona spin-offs that already came to Nintendo consoles. I mean, could you imagine something like Pokemon Snap appearing on the PlayStation? Of course not. Nintendo would never allow that to happen, and besides, Shin Megami Tensei 3 started off on the PS2, so that franchise most certainly does not belong to Nintendo. Shin Megami Tensei jumped ship from Nintendo the second Nintendo stopped making consoles that were a good place for JRPGs to exist, and Persona jumped ship from Sony the second there was literally anywhere else JRPGs could thrive. Torres-kun blames the fans for getting excited for something Atlus never said had happened, but, like, why would Atlus reveal something that big to a random journalist, you know? If someone asks them a question, they gotta say something. I mean, that'd be as bad as Nintendo letting Microsoft reveal that the games were coming to the Switch during the Xbox presentation. I don't know why anyone expected that. Again, if the games were never coming, then Atlus should have squashed those rumors immediately. You seem to hate Sony. It's never coming to the Switch. Deal with it. I definitely don't hate Sony. I just really love Persona and want to see new people play it so the franchise can grow, and it is coming to the Switch. Deal with it. Mainline Persona games do not leave PlayStation. Yeah, they do. This damage control from Nintendo fans is getting annoying now. How's it damage control to not give up on a game just because it wasn't announced literally months after it was probably greenlit? I mean, these things take time, and I know it felt like forever. Hell, I'll even admit there were a few times that I thought Persona 5 Royal might not come until the Switch's successor.
Yeah, they had us the first half, I'm not gonna lie.
But I mean, the Switch didn't even come out till after Persona 5 was already released on the PlayStation, so how could anybody have known it'd have been a good place for JRPGs that early? Especially when Nintendo hadn't had a console that was a good place for JRPGs since the early 90s, aside from the 3DS, but... you know, for home consoles, I mean. Honestly, is 3 years really that long for a game to get a port? Hell, it took Operation Moonfall 4 years just to get Majora's Mask on the 3DS, and that game already had all the kinks ironed out with the Ocarina of Time remake. Not to mention, it didn't even have any politics to deal with or anything like that. I mean, let's not forget about that whole PBR virus fiasco that happened that delayed pretty much every game in the world for a full year. Real MC, yes it did, and no, Persona games haven't always been exclusive to PlayStation. The first game was on the PC. John Salazar, yes really, and yes it did. The denial is real. Indeed, but not from me, haha. Well, Midnight Mayor, yes it did, and the info that it was coming to the Switch is Atlus asking people if they want it, telling them not to give up, and refusing to deny it despite knowing how badly people want it. Is Persona being PlayStation exclusive stupid? Yes. Dumb? Yes. And illegal? Well, no. No, it's not. Well, you're 1/3 right, I'll give you that. Jack Abram here says I'm butthurt about it. Nah, I wouldn't say I was ever butthurt over the games not coming to the Switch, nor would I have been if they didn't end up coming in the end, but I was definitely going to stay firm until Atlus would confirm that they weren't coming, let alone ask us to keep begging for them. I mean, you'd think that if they were exclusive to Sony, that Sony would want them to say that they're not coming to the Switch so, you know, people would buy a PlayStation. I remember you already bet your ass in the last video. Your ass is no longer yours. Nope, still hanging in there. This was the only opportunity to get it on the Switch. I posted that video 4 months after Joker was revealed for Smash. They only had 4 months? Really? Or even 6? Or 10 months?
Nah.
Nah? What the hell was that?
Just give it up. It's not coming to the Switch. Yeah, it is. Haha. Your argument's terrible, because it's too late in development. Quit being a Nintendo apologist. What does this even have to do with Nintendo? The game's up to Atlus to port, and they did end up doing it, so, I mean, I don't know. Sons of Liberty back with more. Calling my video clickbait, but, like, it happened. So I guess it wasn't, right? Legend Milk Gamer being a ween, but I got the last laugh, haha. DB telling me to get over it, but I never did, and it ended up working out, didn't it? Doesn't confirm anything. Microsoft paid Atlus to get them on Game Pass. It's up to Atlus and Nintendo if they want Switch versions. Why wouldn't Nintendo and Atlus want the game on the Switch? Hell, why wouldn't Sony even want the game on the Switch? More Persona fans just means more people buying Persona 6. Me, seize title of video. Also me, don't do it. don't give us hope. Hell, I tried the low expectations approach to Banjo coming to Smash, and I ended up getting ridiculed for it, if you remember correctly. This one dude who's capitalizing the first letter to every word like Ric Flair does on Twitter says that the main Persona games are loyal to PlayStation and that they need to be exclusives. I don't understand why people are loyal to brands, and I know, you're gonna call me a Nintendo fan man because I've wanted Persona games on the Switch for the past 4 years, but like, I'm also down for Shin Megami Tensei 5 and really any third-party multi-plat going to PlayStation, because I mean, why not? Why there wasn't an outcry like this when Snake was included in Brawl, but in any moment, people were asking for a Metal Gear Solid 4 port for the Wii when it was, and still is, exclusive to the PS3. Well, there actually were Metal Gear games on Nintendo consoles before, and everybody knew that the Wii was way too weak to run Metal Gear Solid 4 since the Wii came out before Nintendo reached the everything looks fine milestone. Now this is good cope. I mean, I've always just considered it making deductions with logic, not exactly coping. The game's not coming to the Switch, maybe the base version of Persona 5. If you ask me, the base version of Persona 5 should stay dead and buried forever and ever until the end of time, but, like, Persona 5 Royal is really just more extra content, not exactly improved graphics or anything like that. You've literally made over multiple videos on this subject, just accept that you can't play it and move on. Again, yeah, I can play it, but did I make too many videos on the topic? I mean, I could totally understand that opinion, but I really don't think so. I mean, people were talking about the topic for like 3 years, and I only made videos anytime there was an update, i.e. Nintendo Direct where it wasn't announced and everyone was freaking out, so I just kind of stepped in every now and then to calm them down. And I mean, yeah, the videos, they did pretty well more often than not, so that was nice. But I mean, I was right, so, you know? But hey, at least there's no reason for any more, except for this one, where I'm milking it one last time. But I'm not milking it. Okay, I kind of milked it. This did not age well with the recent Direct Mini. See, like I said, anytime the games weren't announced in a Nintendo Direct, everybody freaked out. I'm against exclusives going multi-plat. I know this comment's not trying to be rude, but like, why would you personally not want a game to go multi-plat? Stop begging for shitty ports. Go buy a PS4 and you'll have access to Persona 5 Royal. It was a cel-shaded PS3 game. Why would the port have to be shitty? It's never happening. Quit dreaming. Nope. Bruh, it's called an exclusive. So was Resident Evil 4, how'd that work out? LOL, you Switch kids just need to STFU. Just because I was stating that I thought something should happen? I mean, freak me, I guess. So you're basically saying I want Mario on Xbox. Not the same thing at all. Mario's a first-party game. Sony never owned Atlus or Persona. Is there a possibility Tokyo Mirage Sessions FE coming to PS4? Again, Nintendo owns Fire Emblem. Sony never owned Persona. STFU, Persona's never coming to Nintendo. Why does this idea fluster you so much? Nintendo has too many weebs and crybabies. I mean, you're the one crying. Y'all need to let it go. Well, never give up on your dreams, I guess. It's not happening. They've confirmed so many times that it's not being ported, so stop begging for it and harassing Atlus. And the whole reason I never gave up is because Atlus never confirmed that it wasn't happening. I mean, after all, Atlus is a business, and when consumers want something, they need to speak up, and ideally, the business listens. Keep begging. Whatever you guys say won't matter. I mean, it worked out, didn't it? I mean, who would have thought that a rabid fan base speaking up about wanting something for a few years would have led to it actually happening? Oh my goodness, you and the other port beggars. Persona 5's never coming to Switch. Accept it and move on to other games. Yeah, as if I've just been staring at my Switch nonstop over the past 3.5 years, completely unwilling to play anything else while I waited for one game. And of course, let's not forget about like 800 different people saying, this sure aged well. Which honestly, I've always found to rival the read more gag in terms of genericness. Persona 5 are announced. PS4 exclusive. My face when? Nah, that's too easy. I'm not gonna say it in this video, but I will respond to it in the comments with it. This is friggin' hilarious. Persona 5 on Switch, never ever. I'm betting that they're really regretting adding ever to that statement right about now. You guys are letting your imaginations run wild. Atlus has strict rules about never letting the Persona series touch Nintendo. You don't say. Oh, what's this? Oh, wow, 2014. Oh, that's weird. Shin Megami Tensei, however, is always on Nintendo, you know, except for that time where it wasn't anyway. That's a terrible idea. There is no good reason to make Persona 5 accessible for Switch, and this is clearly a way to earn extra money for Nintendo due to the popularity of Persona 5 they'll be feeding off of. Alright, so this comment wasn't exactly rude, so if you're watching this video, I apologize, I guess. But I mean, why wouldn't Atlus make money too? It's a win-win for everybody, including Sony. It's clear Sony and Atlus have a deal on exclusivity, and asking Sony to give that up's absurd. Well, it was never up to Sony to begin with, but I mean, why would they want to hoard these old Persona games at this point? I mean, more Persona fans means more sales for Persona 6, doesn't it? I guess your inner Nintendo fanboy came out in this video. I don't think it's gonna happen. Ever. Sorry, but wanting other people to play a game that I've already played and love isn't being a fanboy, it's called not being a gatekeeper. Wait, this video is biased as frig. If Switch gets Persona, then Shin Megami Tensei 5 should come to PS4. I agree, and someday it probably will come to the PS5. Why wouldn't it? It's more money for Atlus. Obsessed and seething. I suppose you can't make over a dozen videos on the same topic and not consider it to be some sort of an obsession, I guess, so that's fair, but I wasn't seething. I was just sticking to my guns since I didn't see any reason to believe otherwise. One word. Oh, great. Now he's calling me by my last name like he knows me or something. And he's doing the stupid read more gimmick. Fine, I'll bite. What is it? Sony. Great. Gimme, 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 gimme. Yeah, I agree. Speculation the video. I prefer to call it deductive reasoning myself. Reality can stop Persona from coming to the Switch. Apparently not. Saying nothing can stop it, but that's not really true. Yeah, I gotta admit, a meteor certainly would have halted it. I mean, hell, a measly pandemic hindered it pretty good. So desperate, can you Switch Fanboy stop port begging for once? I really don't like the idea of exclusive title being released to another platform. So you're the one calling me a fanboy when you're the one who doesn't want a game going to another platform just so other people can enjoy it? Cameron, I saw the future. Unfortunately, you were homeless and yell at people that Persona 5's coming to the Switch, but it never did. Dude, I don't know what to tell you. That was like 2 weeks ago. You didn't travel far enough. Nincels, we want Persona 5 Royal. Sony Chads, no. Nincels, soy intensifies. People call me a fanboy. You are an idiot. Atlus has stated time and time again that games will only be released on the consoles they've been developed for. Atlus doesn't do ports. Oh, come on, you don't have to blatantly lie just to hang out. So you're gonna rub into PlayStation users' face that Persona 4, a PS2 game, got ported to PC? Wow, you're a loser, bro. Well now, would a loser take hours out of his day to respond to thousands of comments dating back 3.5 years just to say I told you so to random strangers on the internet purely out of spite? And I never rubbed the PC port in the faces of PlayStation users, because why on earth would they care about a game going multi-plat? No, I was rubbing it in the face of the stands.
Shame on you.
You look like a clown to me, fool.
Don't you start
you ain't that guy.
your yap at me. I can come in there and step to you.
Come inside then. You step one foot in here, I'll stab the
I'm fine with it coming to any platform except Xbox. Alright, who's gonna tell him? As long as you don't harass Atlus on Twitter for stupid hashtags, it's all good. Alright, so were there really that many people who literally harassed Atlus? I mean, I wouldn't exactly define a hashtag as harassment. Persona fans when Atlus starts a sentence with S. That's actually a pretty good burn, I'll give it to him. This is equivalent to asking an unplugged refrigerator why it's not cold yet. I appreciate the creativity at least, but I mean, you were wrong. Christ, have the Switch-only people become this mentally deluded and fixated on a port as mythical as the unicorn? It's honestly hilarious that it's been like a whole year since Joker came to Smash, and y'all are still so convinced that Atlus is actually planning a port of anything mainline Persona related. Switch only? I never said they should recall all the old Persona 5 copies if the game ever went multi-plat. It will never come to Switch. It is a PlayStation exclusive, you spastic.
Cruel, but good word use.
I am thou. Thou art a bitch. Persona 5 is not coming to Switch. Alright, I mean, you were wrong, but that was a really good insult, actually. I honestly do appreciate the creativity. I mean, see, isn't that so much better than the read more thing, or this aged well? Pfft. This guy not only told me I was wrong, but he also made a good Persona reference that rhymed while he was doing it, and he managed to call me a bitch for good measure. So, I mean, yeah, that was the best heckle I've gotten in the past 3.5 years from thousands of comments. That's pretty impressive. Good job. Shit isn't ever coming to the Switch, tard. I never said it was going to be on the Switch tard, I said it was going to be on the Switch, but I mean, when Nintendo does release the Switch tard, you can bet your ass that Persona 5 Royal is going to be on there, so I mean, I'm saying it now. As much as I'd love to keep the petty heckling train going though, that pretty much covers the most notable heckles I've gotten over the years. Now, did I make too many videos on this topic over the years? Of course I did, but it was only whenever there was some kind of an update or lack thereof. But now that Personas 3, 4, and 5 are on the Switch, I can finally put this topic behind me once and for all now that I've gotten all the heckling out of my system. Like I said, I know damn well this is spiteful as hell, but I mean, after dealing with all those hadrosaurs for years while I stuck to my guns, I wasn't about to take the high road. Anyway, that's all for today though, but if you were amused by the levels of pettiness I stooped to in this video though, then you should check out this video I made on Persona 5 Royal where I ranked every character in the game from good to evil, but if you'll excuse me though, I've got to go make a video about something, other than Persona 5 Royal coming to the Switch for once. Later!